To the Terrace gentlemen. A fairly simplistic win for you tonight. I want to go to G first on this. What did you make of your team's performance?
Yeah, for professional, comfortable, easy victory against Lask. We made 9 changes in the game. It was an easy game to be honest with you, and I think especially the fact that we've got the last game to go, we can now finally start playing some of these, the youngsters, the Bradleys, the Kite Gordons, potentially Doka. I don't know if he's going to be back, if he's back from injury properly. These kind of players, let's give them a run out. Let's give these guys a run out. And then, we've got the, Premier League games to come after that. So for me, comfortable. Like, it was really, really comfortable game. I mean, there was the scary bits towards the end, but I just think that was just more, we were so comfortable. You almost get a bit too overconfident, a little bit. But, bar a couple of chances that they had towards the end, the game was done and dusted after we scored the third goal, to be honest with you. So, yeah, easy victory, man.
Yeah, do you agree with that, Stro? Just a very simplistic, easy day, relaxing day in the office for your boys.
Yeah, it's just, I come away disappointed and I'm frustrated with the last 20 minutes of the game. And because, right, it's, me, Terry, I hold such a high standard for Liverpool with everything that they do, right? And it's, for it to be so comfortable and just the sloppiness at the end, like, yes, we come out 4-0 winners. Yes, we top the group. Yes, we can now rest players. And yes, it helps us with our Premier League and stuff like that. But it's like, what the fourth goal said to me was that was there if we'd have just strung passes together. The amount of times I was watching, Trent did it a few times, Endo did it, Gravenberch did it, Gakpo did it, where they were just passing blind and it was just giving the ball back to him. If we were ruthless in that, Núñez gets a goal. I thought he was excellent when he came on. The keeper pulled off an unbelievable save. I don't know why I'm so frustrated with the last 20 minutes. It just wound me up so much because I'm just looking at the game and I'm just thinking it was so comfortable, but yet that could have been 6, 7, 8. And I always go back to this when we played Hughes, Old Trafford, and we came out 5-0, and I just watched us play like a training game for that second half, and I've never been more wound up in my life. When we've got the opportunity, to go and put teams to the sword, go and put teams to the sword. Don't faff about and start strolling about. Put the ball in the back of the net. Give Núñez the confidence he needs. He's been unbelievable for his national side. You could see he was itching to get a goal. Just go and put the ball in the back of the net and stop faffing about with it in stupid areas.
Yeah, I get you on that. Do you share that? Do you echo that, Ram, or was it a case for you of once we were 3-0 up, you were quite happy for the team to kind of take their foot off the gas? How do you see it, mate?
I don't mind putting the foot off the gas, but I don't like the fact that it's like the guy said, it's a bit sloppy. They didn't really care, If it's like playing football, keeping possession, try and toy them around, make a couple of chances, yeah, I'm cool with that. But you don't pass the ball around just for the sake of it, And they didn't do that. I think they just didn't care after a while. And look, 4-0 win, we're going to take that every day of the week. Look, it's a 4-0 win, great confidence booster. And just move on to the next game, in my opinion. We expected them to come up with a decent performance. They put 4 goals past them. Nothing too surprising, really. We expected them to destroy Lask. No offense to Lask, decent side in Austria, but come on, Liverpool have been scintillating this season, and we showed our quality in the end, even though it should have been around about 8 or 9-0.
Yeah, I can kind of understand that. Like, I get where you're coming from, Stro. I know there are a few people in the comments giving you a bit of stick, but there's been times where, maybe not this season, but there's been many times in my life where United have, gone 2-0 up, 3-0 up pretty quickly, and I'm like, come on, we can score 6, 7, 8 here, and then we just slow down for the rest of the game, and it's like, I feel a little bit underwhelmed by that. So I do get where you're coming from. I wanted to ask you boys about a couple of players tonight. Obviously, your goalkeeper could be out for 4 to 5 weeks. Kelleher come in. Do you think tonight, G, was a good sort of... I mean, he had to make a couple of saves. Do you think tonight was a good night for him in terms of getting him sort of sharp for what is going to be a busy month or so for him?
he needed the clean sheet because he's not had a clean sheet this season. So he just needed that just for his own kind of confidence and stuff like that moving forward. And also for us to be able to see how we're gonna kind of play with. We've seen Kelleher in these kind of games, but I don't really judge him on these games. You know what I mean? I need to see him in the Premier League when he's got the original back four, you know, in front of him, or as strong as back fours we can possibly get in front of him. What's he like in these kind of moments? What's his communication like? The passing, the distribution, all of these other like various different things. I need to see that, you know, in these Premier League games. But in terms of tonight, listen, you get a clean sheet as a goalkeeper. I can only imagine the goalkeepers love that. That's like their goal. Do you know what I mean? So for him to get that, yeah, he's definitely going to be happy. But it's funny because usually I'm the negative one, but I agree with what the both of these guys have said about, you know, like the sloppiness towards the end of the game. Do you know what I mean? Like it was sloppy at those last 20 minutes. Like they could have scored at least 2 goals, you know, in that kind of game, and it was just down to us just being sloppy, not because they were excellent. It was just us. So, you know, it could have been totally different, but ultimately we can only deal with what the facts that are here, which is we won 4-0. He got the clean sheet, and we can move forward. But it's going to be interesting watching him in these Premier League games. I'm going to be watching him with my eyes wide open, just because I just need to see how he deals with the pressure more so. Playing against Lask, again, no disrespect, there isn't really much pressure. You're the second choice goalkeeper. You know what I mean? No one's really bothered too tough if you do too many things, because we know that you're not going to play Premier League games. Guess what? Now you're playing Premier League games. So any mistake, not looking commanding, all these kind of things, if you start to exhibit that in these games, then there's nothing we can do, because he's the only goalkeeper that we've got. But ultimately there will be people, you know, questioning him in a general sense. But tonight he was calm, man. He was good.
I get that. A few people in the comments said it's only going to be around 2 weeks that the goalie's out. So I stand corrected on that. The last report I read said 5 weeks, to be fair. And Ram, I know how big a fan you are of Alisson, because I know how often he saves you. You know, you're looking at games against Fulham, Sheffield United, Palace in the next 9 days. So 3 games in 9 days. And then you got Man United on the 17th. So he may be back for that if he's back in 2 weeks, but potentially Man United at home as well. It's a big couple of weeks really for Kelleher. And in terms of the fact that you need him to perform, you need him to get those clean sheets if you're to keep up with City and Arsenal at the top.
100%. I think the one thing that I've been a bit concerned about Kelleher has been his confidence in the last couple of games. He's played decently season before. Obviously, the COVID season, he played very well and made a name for himself. But the last couple of games I saw of him, he wasn't really confident. Some of the parries that he was doing wasn't really what we've seen of him before. But this game, massive confidence boost. He did a couple of really good routine saves, which is expected of any goalkeeper. But again, most important thing, as G said, clean sheet. Give him that little bit of confidence and a little bit of self-belief. Because the one thing he lacked in the last couple weeks has been self-belief, because he did let in a couple of stupid goals, which some of them weren't his fault, some of them were. But now he could take this clean sheet and move forward. And he has to really step up, because like you said, Alisson has been bailing us out for the last couple seasons, let alone last couple of weeks. So I believe he could do something. Look, he's a very highly rated player in the club. So I'm going to have full faith in him, and I'm going to believe that he's going to do something for the next couple of games.
And do you echo that, Stro?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Kelleher. Have been for years, since he broke through, since obviously we played him in the cup games. Look, I understand why people are a bit nervous, because obviously Alisson is a massive figure. For me, he's the best keeper in the Premier League and has been since the moment he stepped into the Premier League. We're forgetting Kelleher's performed in big moments and big games, cup finals, excellent, unbelievable saves against Chelsea. And it pains me to say this, right, but Kelleher wants regular football, right? So he's going to be looking at this opportunity thinking, I can put myself in a shop window in the summer, which is what he wants. He wants to play regular football week in, week out in the Premier League. And this is his perfect opportunity to perform. And that's part of the reason why I was getting so frustrated with the end of the game, because it was like, we need him to go into these games with confidence. We need this clean sheet. And we're fucking about with the ball when we don't need to, when we're putting pressure on him when we don't need to. We need him going into these games calm, composed, and the Kelleher that we know how good he is. He's an unbelievable goalkeeper on his day. So I've got full confidence in him, real confidence in him. And I'm sorry, the Quansah in front of him. Oh my lord, what a player that kid is! What a player that kid is. Obviously, I know we're going to talk about him, but wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great segue into him. It's he's had a lot of exposure in this competition this year, and I think it's been, as you say, there's been a lot of first team players, and it's a great time to blood a young player like him. But what I've seen, he looked, for me, obviously, there's still question marks over Konate. Matip's getting older. Joe Gomez isn't going to be the centre back to carry you guys forward, but this young man looks like he's got something special inside him.
Terry
Yeah.
is sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was just saying, yeah, it's crazy because like everyone, Van Dijk at his peak, right? Everyone goes back to that Tottenham 2-on-1 and how he just completely marks on out the game and he goes to Sissoko, go on then, test yourself, I dare you. In the game tonight, there was a bit where the last player goes through and Konsa does something so similar where he goes, if you're going to beat me, you're not passing it to the man to the side of me, you're going to have to beat me one-on-one. And he gets across and I was just like, this kid, the pass that he plays for the Gakpo goal at the end, no young player in the right mind should have the confidence to play that pass because he was outnumbered and it's a dangerous pass. And not only does he fizz it in, it's with quality. Everything he does, he just looks so relaxed and composed. And it's just like every Liverpool fan, myself included, wanted a defender to come in the summer, right? I like the idea of Levi Colwill because I'm a big fan. I liked what he did at Brighton, and I wanted a young player to come through and be our next player to step up when the likes of Van Dijk retires or goes and stuff like that. And then you look at what Konsa's done this season, and it's the perfect. When you look at the academy players that have come through, Chambers, obviously you've got Gordon on the bench, you've got Clark, Doak, like a lot of them are watching Trent their person, right? In terms of coming in from the youth academy, going straight into the first team. You look at what Konsa's done this season. He's took an opportunity that was never there, and he's made it his. And I'm looking at him now, and I'm thinking, Nat Phillips will go because we've got Konsa. Reece Williams will go because we've got Konsa, and he will change a lot of Liverpool's transfer plans going forward, and rightfully so because he is 100% one for the future. This kid has got so much quality; it's untrue.
You echo that, Ram?
Yeah, absolutely. As in, like we've seen him playing in a lot of competitive games, and it says a lot when he's actually outperforming proven Premier League players. It's crazy. Like he's outperforming the likes of Konate, outperforming the likes of Matip. He's arguably round of the match in his Premier League debut. Like it says a lot of the quality of player that he is and the confidence that the guy has. And I can't speak highly of the guy. I've been a massive fan of him. I've seen him play in the young England under-17s, and he's impressed me a lot. I wanted to see what he's all about. And look, the one thing that I'm very happy about, not only because he plays for Liverpool, but the one thing is that England don't have a lot of great young centre-backs coming through. And the one thing that we struggled with in previous tournaments is having a decent centre-back partnership. That we've always been lacking a quality centre-back. And having him on the peripheries as a youngster to come through and learn his game, it only bodes well for England as a unit because we've got a special group of players. And to have him as a centre-back, and if he continues to do what he's doing for Liverpool and starts playing multiple games for us this season, man, what a player. What a player. And passing, his ability to switch to play has been mind-blowing. I didn't think a player of his quality and a player of his age could do that.
Do you know what I like about him? There's a word I would use when I look at him. It's just, I'm going to quote man like Dave from Top Boy, composure. It's just, the composure is great. And it's interesting because there's young players that come through. Man United, young Kobe Mainoo that's coming through. Quansah, there's a young player they both remind me of, even though Quansah's centre back. Jack Wilshere. When Jack Wilshere broke through, and a lot of people will laugh at him because his career faded out because of injury. But that young man, when he came through at sort of 17, 18, he was playing like he was 25, 26. And I see that with his centre back. I see it with him and go, it's annoying because he's a Liverpool player. And I look at it and just think, this kid's probably going to save you £80 million in the transfer market if he's developed correctly, And yeah, he looks absolutely brilliant. He really does. It's just annoying me as a Liverpool player, to be honest with you. But yeah, he looks very, very good indeed. Very, very good indeed.
All right, Terry, at least he's English, man. At least England got a proper
This is
quality
it.
young
Like with
centre back.
Trent and these guys, at least I get to enjoy. Well, Trent recently playing for England, but at least I get to enjoy them in an England shirt.